The Sioux Falls School District has many different classes and programs to offer students. An important part of the district's programs includes the arts. Music, art, drama, and debate come under this title. This program will look at one of those programs, the orchestra. Orchestra begins in the 4th grade in elementary school. Students develop their musical talents through the middle school years and into high school. By the time the students are in the high school orchestra program, they are perfecting their art. Tonight, we look in at the Lincoln High School Orchestra under the direction of Dr. Mario Cirillo. We will witness the orchestra preparing for a combined concert with Washington High School. We will watch them work on a piece of music. Then we will watch the final work presented in concert. Dr. Cirillo will offer his insights into his orchestra as he gives tips to elementary and middle school students on how they can improve their musical skills. We will also hear from 4 Lincoln Orchestra students as they discuss the attraction that orchestra holds for them. Now, let's take a look into the window on the arts and orchestra.
2, 3, 4. Alright, so it's supposed to go dun 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 dun. Okay, you coming on down beat. 3, 4.
First, we have rehearsals every day. That's one of the big differences between elementary school and high school is we rehearse every day for 50 minutes. And we do many different things. We don't just play the music over and over and over. That doesn't get you anywhere. You don't learn anything from that. We'll find different ways to break the music apart, to find ways to make it better. We'll split out certain sections to show how the violins and the basses should be playing together. We'll work on different rhythms. We'll work on scales just so we can learn our instrument better so we can play a piece. We'll work separately with the strings than we do with the winds. When we bring the winds in, it helps the volume a lot. We will do different things like sing things, we'll clap things, we'll count things. We have to learn everything about the music so that we can play the music. Orchestra is not necessarily just about learning how to play music. It's learning about how to connect everything that you've already learned. It's about history, it's about style, and it is about playing your instrument. If you work on focusing on just one piece, then all you ever learned was how to play that piece. What we like to do in Sioux Falls here is learn how to play the instrument. So that way you can go and play any piece in any style. We play lots of different styles, from Beethoven to Louis Armstrong to John Cage if we have to. That's part of the fun of being an orchestra is we try to have all different kinds of music. And I'm sure within the next year or two we're going to have to play Dave Matthews because so many kids like Dave Matthews. So.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What we focus on is building several layers of awareness. We call it expanding your awareness bubble. The first part of the bubble is you have to be aware of what you yourself are doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you can't fix it. A lot of kids don't realize I'm using my bow in the wrong way until they look inside themselves and feel how they're using it. Most problems are fixed by just knowing, being aware of what you're doing. And then the next step in expanding your awareness bubble is knowing how you're fitting with your partner, the guy sitting next to you. If you're both using the same style of bow, if you're both going the same bow direction, if you're both breathing at the same time, that's the next step of the awareness bubble. Then you have to expand it further. You have to feel what the other sections are doing. If you're a viola player, you have to feel what the violinists are doing. You have to be aware of you have to be aware of your stand partner, you have to be aware of the violin section. And you have to, eventually you'll be aware of what everybody in the whole orchestra is doing. And that's how you perfect things, is by building your awareness. Because humans, once they're aware of things, can fix them.
Da-da, 1, 2, ready? 1, we're at 4 before 17. Swing. And that was my first hit, so nobody gets it, right? Oh, was it second here? Alright, I gotta tell a story, but I'll be quick. Alright, we're in chamber orchestra. It has 8th note equals quarter 8th note. And I'm like, okay, we've got 11 Americans in the class and one girl from Sweden. And I say, okay, everybody knows what that means, right? Nobody says anything. And then the Swedish girl goes, I believe that means it is supposed to be shavong. And I'm like, yeah. And, okay, and you're Americans? All right, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can start sounding good on your instrument in the first year. You're not going to sound like Mozart the first year, but as long as you're having fun and listening to what you're doing, you can start sounding better, and then you just start getting more difficult music and making that sound better. But like I said, the key to it is listening to what you're doing. One of the quickest ways to get better, even if you're an elementary student, is to turn the lights off and listen to what you're doing in the dark. And most elementary kids memorize their music pretty quickly. If you turn all the lights off, you're going to hear what you're doing, and you're going to get rid of those squawks, because I guarantee you're not going to enjoy listening to those squawks. And once you actually listen to it, you'll fix it. And your body knows how to fix it most of the time, even before a teacher tells you. Well, there's many ways a parent can help a student. First of all, encouraging them to play, making it fun for them, setting them up with a decent instrument. You don't need a Stradivarius, but you do need an instrument that works. And also, one of the things that I've suggested the most is, if you get private lessons, the private lesson teacher has more time to be individual with the student, and the more individual time, the better the student's going to get, the more fun the student's going to have, because being good is just better.
All right. I play violin, and I guess right now I'm my first violin player, and I'm a sophomore at Lincoln High School, and I've played in the orchestra for 7 years.
My name is Sam, and I play the bass, and I've also been playing since 4th grade, and I'm a junior at Lincoln.
I'm also a junior at Lincoln, and my name is Helen Carlson, and I play the viola.
My name is Beth Glassby. I'm a senior at Lincoln. I play the cello. I've been playing since 5th grade. Oh.
And so, yeah, there's one common bond between us, and that's that we're all in orchestra. It's a fun experience.
And you should stay in orchestra, because orchestra has like all of your friends in it, and you get to enjoy playing a lot of fun music. And
It gets progressively more fun, I think.
yeah,
Because when you're in elementary school, you think, first you're like, wow, I can play an
Twinkle,
instrument.
twinkle, little star.
And then after a while, you're just like, okay, I'm ready to play something more. I want to play real music like you hear.
Yeah, it's
like
gotten pretty
the big
challenging.
orchestras.
We've
And
learned a
then-
lot so
yeah.
far. But there's some people who say that, you shouldn't take orchestra all 4 years because it'll just be a waste of time when you can be taking important classes. But I almost find that I take all these high, intensity classes where I'm, worried about my grades so much, I can barely concentrate. I need something where I can just lay back and kind of, have a good time in school for once, So it's that one class
and
where
it's
you can
fun,
actually
but it's
enjoy.
not like a slack off class. I mean, we learn stuff. It's just not like high intensity studying the whole time. And
Yeah, and you get to
It's
see your
fun.
friends, and it's fun, and Dr. Shrell is hilarious.
Now, you'll have at least one class with your friends guaranteed because they'll be
Yeah.
in orchestra. And then you can also be in chamber orchestra, which meets opposite your lunch instead of a study hall. And then that'll give you another time to see your friends. Plus, it'll guarantee that you get to eat lunch with your friends. Because otherwise, you could get assigned to a different lunch, and then they don't like to switch that around. But if you're in chamber orchestra, then you automatically get that lunch.
And if you're in orchestra, you get to go on really fun trips, like we've been to
New Orleans was awesome.
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
New York, the big
Yeah,
apple.
that was fun.
And you get to ride on the bus and see lots of really cool orchestras, like even better than the South Dakota Symphony. So that's
Yeah.
really cool.
And we get to work with the South Dakota Symphony sometimes too,
Yeah.
just being in high school. And then, because there'll be that next concert, I think, when we're playing with the symphony for the youth people's concert.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And the music we play, it's not all boring classical music.
no.
A lot of the older style stuff we do it's pretty fun and neat. We also do a lot more modern and popular music. We did some Santana.
Yeah, last year we did Smooth, and we did
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Or this year we did some stuff by Louis Armstrong.
Yep, Louis Armstrong, and a bunch of different styles and
And right now,
genres,
we're doing a
eras.
Hoedown by Copeland.
Yep,
So it's kind of
Copeland.
more of a Western type music.
Yeah,
And then
like
the best
fiddling
part is
and-
he'll tell you the background of the music. So you actually know what you're playing, and it's not just some stuffy old guy, dead guy's work that you're playing, and you
Not
learn
all
about
dead
why.
white guys, like
Yeah.
Dr. Schimmel likes to say.
Yeah,
But so it's a pretty good time, and you learn a lot, and you get to have
a
fun.
lot more variety than different other groups. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's chorus and band out there too, but I'd have to say orchestra's where I belong, and
Yeah,
It's-
because there's all sorts of different people in orchestra, and everybody. I mean, we don't say, "Oh, you're a cheerleader. We don't like you," or "You play basketball. I mean, why are you in orchestra?" I mean, all sorts of different people are in
Yeah.
orchestra, and everybody is just, accepted into the group, and we all have fun together. And
yeah, we have like cheerleaders to techie type people to all sorts, and we just have a good time, and it's brought a lot of my friends and me together, and you have a lot of common bonds.
that's where I met a lot of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, you got some people who are super serious and want to go into music, and then you have other people who are just doing it for fun, and it doesn't really matter if you, you don't have to want to go on to be a musician to stay in orchestra
Yeah.
through high school.
I don't want to. I think
Yeah.
music's helped me in some ways because it's, it helps with math and stuff if you think about it, but I don't think I really need to go into music because I don't think I'm really that good, and I don't think I can succeed in that area, but it's good right now just to have the experience, and that music is something that's going to stay with you. Like even if I go into medicine or if I go into teaching or something, I can always go back and play the violin, whereas in basketball or something, when I'm old and gray, and I'm in a wheelchair, who knows if, I'll be able to do that kind of stuff. And orchestra, you can always play, and it's,
It's just for everyone.
yeah, and it's relaxing too.
It's a good way to get to the other schools, like a connection with the other schools
Yeah.
too, because there's like all-state orchestra and honors orchestra, and then there's the festival where all the schools are together. So then you don't only get to be with your school, you get to be with like all the schools. It's
And
fun.
even more trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
I went
lots
to
of
New Orleans
competition, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like a sport in that way because you're competing. And so, you know, I have several people that I know from the other schools, and I can't really say we're friends because we're always, you know, competing against each other, but I've got to know a lot of people, and I'll just see them around town and at different places, and I can say, hey, you know.
Yeah, and yet I don't think it's quite as competitive as, I mean, as the other sports, because it's not like a whole like team competing against another team. So it's a way to get some competition, but it doesn't make like enemies of the other school.
Yeah.
Because we went to New Orleans with the Washington Orchestra, and I mean, there was about half Lincoln, half Washington on our bus, and we just had a great time hanging out with them.
Yeah, you get to learn a lot more about people and about their school, and it's been pretty fun. And then, because you're all working together, I guess, in an orchestra.
That's cool too. It is
Everyone
kind of all like
learns.
a group, and you all do it together and accomplish something at the end.
And I guess you just can enjoy the music and have fun making it.
It's like a sports team, but everybody gets to participate equally.
Yeah, that's
I-
cool too.
Because I mean, on some sports teams, some people get to play more, some people get to play less. But in orchestra, I mean, everybody plays the same parts, and yeah, some people might have a solo once in a while, but everybody gets to participate all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels. Like, we have 3 different orchestras here at Lincoln, and there's the freshman group, and then there's the
Junior varsity.
junior varsity, and then there's the varsity orchestra that meets first period. And so, I mean, you don't have to worry if you don't think you're that good, because we'll take you, you know.
Yeah.
And we can make you better, but it's also just about improving yourself, and it doesn't really matter what level you are. You'll bring yourself up just by participating.
And
And
you
so-
don't have to be like the next star violin player to be an orchestra,
No.
the next star cellist. You can just come just because you like to play. So.
Or even if you want to just be with your friends, you know, do something like that.
It is fun.
Definitely.
And you get to meet lots of people, and it's a good time, and it's fun, and you enjoy it. So
Yeah.
we like orchestra.
There's a lot of perks to being a member of the orchestra. Yes, we did get to go to New Orleans this year. That was a lot of fun. We got to go hear Cajun bands. We got to hear the symphony down there, and had a lot of fun with trips and things. But to me, that's not the best part of being an orchestra. The best part of being an orchestra is you automatically have a group of friends. When you move up to the high school from the middle school, it was scary for me when I did it, but with these kids, there's 60 other people that are in the orchestra, and you automatically have a group of people that you can be friends with. Being part of the orchestra is not just the playing part of it. In the morning before school, this room is full of people doing their homework together. They're laughing. They're making friends. And the social part of being an orchestra, to me, is almost the most important part of being an orchestra. Well, one of the things that I've been finding as I've been a teacher that is good about being in an orchestra is it helps you with all of your other classes. A lot of people think that it takes your time away from being in math class in elementary school or middle school, but music is all about making all of the things come together. Music students have better math grades. In general, there's been many studies saying that if you're in music, all of your other things get better. And it's because music is math, music is art, music is history. If you become a part of an orchestra, it may take a little bit out of your class time, but it makes you smarter and it makes you better at those classes.
Thank you.